Love Upon a Time. It is from Thailand. It is on iQIYI. It is 12 episodes. It is full length. I put 1 hour. That's the average. Some are like an hour and a half. Some are like 50 minutes.
Yes.
It runs the range there because it's not made for television with commercials and a time slot. So, fantasy, 1000%. Romance, yes. Historical, yes.
Yes.
Yes, and visually beautiful to watch.
Yes.
And the acting was really wonderful, I thought, especially since a lot of the cast was a little newer to being like carrying the story with the main leads. And I would say that there were some over the top moments, but I think they were meant to be over the top, and there were some subtle moments too. So if you like, classic time travel tropes, if you like something that's set in the present day and in the past, and I don't know, a good amount of like almost palace intrigue. I would like set it in that little section there. I know it's not, well, it's kind of palace. Actually, yeah, palace intrigue. There you go. There's like a hefty dose of politics thrown in there for funsies. You'd enjoy this ride for sure.
Yeah.
Side note, I love JJ. That's all there is to it.
Oh, yay. I'm glad that JJ has converted you. Yes, okay. Love Upon a Time. I loved it. We will get more into it in the spoiler section. But I just want to address Katie's comment saying that she didn't watch it after the first episode. What's funny is this series is one of the exceptions where I will say, if you did not like the first episode, keep watching, because I think one of the things that happened with this series is that usually with a series, the first episode sets the mood and tone for the whole series. Right. However, this one did not. They started with a very over-the-top comedic mood and tone because of what was happening to JJ's character, Nakun. But that tone shifts dramatically, and the series becomes much more serious with a hint of comedy. Like literally when I say a hint, there's like a couple moments in every episode after like episode 4. Honestly, I watched it episodes 1, 2, and 3. I was like, okay, I think they're finding their bearings editing wise and what they want the show to be. Episode 4 and on, wow, the shift was huge. I have never seen a series that started out not as good and went up and up and up for me. Like they either start really good and go down, or they never get better. You know what I mean? Like they're either a plateau the whole time, or they start amazing and then they get awful by the ending. This one started out like, I don't know if the editing team was like trying to figure out what they wanted to do or what exactly happened. But like the first 3 episodes, you're like, okay, I might like this. I'm not sure. Episode 4 and on, I was sad. I was like, what happened? Like they totally shifted everything. The editing was amazing. The comedic moments, instead of being over the top and cringy, were like perfectly placed and really funny. And I was like, hold on, this is the series I wanted it to be. And then it only gets better from there. So honestly, sit down for the ride, get past those first 3, and then you'll love it. Well, you might not love it. You're not me necessarily, but in my opinion, give it a try, because honestly, it gets so much better. And like Lottie and Kim, it's their first series, and they were both so amazing. And like JJ is so good, and I know that he has experience, but never as a lead character. Exactly. And I feel like he pulled off the complicated emotions of Nakun so well, and he played the 2 characters too, because he had to play Clow from the past and then his present self also. And then Net, of course, is always amazing. If you've seen Net in anything, like his acting is always really, really top tier. And there were moments when I cried. There are some beautiful OSTs from New and Boki Lion, and Kim even sings an OST, and I'm so proud of him. Anyways, that is a diatribe to say, watch it.
There you go.
Continue it.
And she went on, ladies and gentlemen. So I would say,
yeah,
at least try episode 2.
Yes.
the tone does start shifting even in episode 2, I feel like. But yeah, episode 1 is a little cringe and over the top in tone. I would agree with Katie on that one. But I don't remember, Katie, what you have said you liked in the past, but it actually might not be your cup of tea in general as a type of series.
Very possible. I will say I think out of all the more recent period shows that have happened, like the one with Great and In and the one with Billy and Babe and the one with Pearl and Peak, this one after the episode 4 hump was my favorite of the most recent ones. I think my most favorite period pieces are still To Sir With Love and I Feel You Linger in the Air. Those are still my top. But
top tier.
Out of all the ones that have come out recently, I feel like this was my most favorite after that. But I do also have a special place in my heart for the actors because I followed Doobie and I followed Latte and Net since the beginning of this story and since the beginning of all the stuff they've gone through to make this show happen. So I also might have more of a stake in it than others coming in with no, stake in the actors, but I recommend.
That's interesting, Deloria. Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that they were, I do think that they adjusted it a bit because JJ does have more of a comedic vibe than James does. And it's not that James can't play comedy. James just has a more serious aura to him. And I think that their idea might have been to do the comedy to pull people in to like, oh, we're laughing and it's like fun and exciting, so we're going to keep watching. But in my opinion, I think that it sort of brought us out of the tone of the rest of the show and caused some people to stop watching because they didn't like the over the top cringiness. And then they were like, and then people, didn't continue who might have liked the rest of it. But it's okay. I mean, it wasn't, not everything can be super perfect. I will say that, but yes, I would recommend, we'll talk more in the spoilers. There's more to be said, but that's our opinions. Thank you for sticking with us through. Please stay till the end if you want to talk more about Love Upon a Time. If you don't, we appreciate you being with us. We will be here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST, to talk about the BL Week in review. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're leaving, goodbye.
Bye, guys. To those who are leaving and to those who are staying, let's get in it. Spoilers alert. Spoiler heavy ahead.
Yes.
Let's get into this. Okay, so I think you were talking about the acting and, well, not the acting, but the actors. So maybe we start with the acting.
Sure.
And it seems like you have some notes on that. So what do you got for us?
Ooh, before I do that, I just want to talk about Deloria's comment because I actually love this. So yes, in the first iteration, when Net and James are going to be in it, Latte and First One were paired. This is true. Many people either don't know this or they forgot. And I actually totally agree with you, DeLorean. Not that First One couldn't have played the part. First One totally could have played the part and it would have been fine. And First One and Latte have a very fun dynamic together. They were always really joking around and all that stuff. However, I think that everyone ended up where they're supposed to be. I think Dole and First One are an amazing singing duo. They did really, really well in Chem Jira. And I loved Kim's portrayal of Gao in this series. I just feel like he has such a beautiful vibe and a beautiful soul and just has the right feel for Gao. And like, I love Latte and Kim's like energy together. They're both from the north, so they have that going for them. And they just, I don't know. I agree. I think that they ended up where they're supposed to be. So I'm very happy that Kim got to play in the series. And yes, so acting wise, Net is just, I don't know what this man does, but he just has the ability to immerse himself in any role. And I've seen him do like so many different things because he's done things outside of Doom and D2. And he just, I don't know. He always gives like 110%. You can tell that he's never afraid. Like he never has any insecurity with his partner as far as like, oh, I don't know if I can act like this with you and you can trust me. It's like he always goes for it, and you can see it in his acting, and just the way that he, like that scene where he confesses and they kiss, but then Nakun is like, no, we can't love each other or whatever. And like
Yeah,
the
right.
way he like held the tears in his eyes until he turned away, and then he cried, and then like just how he was holding his emotions back, especially for this character, because he had to hold so many of his emotions back, and he also had to speak in this soft voice the whole time, even when he was angry. My favorite parts were when Pope got mad and like threatening, but still had a soft voice. It was like all in his eyes and in his physicality, and he was like, I am going to speak in this soft voice, but still like tell you and like scold you or whatever he was doing. And I was like, that's so hard to do. And I just applaud him for that. What did you think about Net? Do you agree?
What did I think about Net? I thought he was pretty, yeah, the way you were describing him was pretty awesome actually. I didn't see him as much as JJ, I don't think, just because JJ just came out of left field and like took me completely by surprise
Yeah.
with the range of dynamics he was able to bring to that role. But a part of the reason he was able to be so comfortable and do so many things was Net, right?
Totally.
So, and yeah, Net was playing a historical figure who was of a higher ranking family, so it would make sense that his manners would be perhaps softer.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that kind of fit really well.
Yeah.
And I think it was supposed to be a contrast to Harn, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
who was also a high-ranking family, but like that family was felt a little coarser around the edges in general
Yeah.
than Pulp's family. So I thought that was really interesting how just tone and sparing was different between the families.
No, that is, yeah, that was really cool to see. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, talk more about JJ, because he like surprised you so much. I want to know what you think about him.
Oh my goodness, we're on me and acting today. I haven't. Okay,
Yeah, or
JJ.
you don't even have to like break his acting down necessarily, but just like what impressed you about him?
Oh, okay. You know, so he did have this like comedic element at the beginning. He was thrown completely out of fish out of water, right? Because at first I was confused. I was like, we have this person who, because oftentimes we'll have a soul transported into the body of someone in the past. It
Yes.
took me a hot second to realize that he just completely time traveled, for
Yep.
starters.
Yep.
Like, then somebody was like, but his earring was in, but he was wearing modern day clothes, this, that, and the other. And then I started putting two and two together. I was like, oh, the dude literally, he didn't transport into his former self. He literally time traveled
Yeah,
and
because his former
appeared,
self was dead in the lake or the pond or whatever it was.
right? And so, like, that was really interesting. And then, yeah, just this later being revealed that like he might have shown up somewhere different if he hadn't happened to be at home,
Mm-hmm.
and like wandering around like by a pond near his house, like in his hometown with his mom's home. You know, that was interesting. I don't know, yeah, just him speaking in random English to all these historical people, and then like just claiming it's from this different province all the time, that he got all this like education and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now?
Yeah. No, I loved him. I like he really impressed me
So
too. It was really cool to see, like, maybe it's just me, but I thought at least I could tell what scenes were filmed in the beginning and what scenes were filmed towards the end, because I felt
mm,
like in the beginning, JJ, you could tell he was like playing a little bit over the top. He was not super comfortable yet in his own skin. But then as the
fair.
filming goes on and as the series goes on, you can see him like relax and chill and trust himself and trust Net more and trust the other people on set. And I was like, oh my gosh, like he is really able to delve deep into the characters too. Like his reactions and the way that he played the two different parts, like the past and the present self, his whole demeanor was different, which was really, really cool to see, because his past self was much more serious and more grounded and angry, and like I thought that was really, really cool.
I want to make a cool side note about that too, because we say, like, yeah, he doesn't have as much experience as a main. He's played some supportive roles, which is cool, but he's also a writer. And
Yes. Yes.
I always emphasize as a writer that I have to become the characters I'm writing. Like, in order to write a character well, you become the character. It's almost like acting. Like, being a writer is
Yeah.
almost like acting. So, in a way, he's had extra experience by becoming his characters as he writes them.
No, that's so true. I actually love that. That's a really good point.
Which is
DeLorean
really
says,
cool thing to think about. Yeah.
no, that's awesome.
Sorry, let's read some comments. I love it.
No, that's okay.
See.
DeLorean says, I enjoyed everyone's acting, but I wish Net had more to do. It was very JJ centric. It's true. JJ was sort of the main character of the show. And it is true that Net was not a side character by any means, but he did have less to do and we saw him less. Well, you know, we'll see whatever their next series is. Oh, well, Net is going to be in Restart next, probably. So I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't think Net's a main character in Restart, but maybe we'll see him do some fun stuff. I feel like he's got some, I have no idea what direction that series is going to take with him, Tudor, and Yim, but I feel like there's some interesting dynamics that were shown in the pilot with that. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, and the final episode, like live, the in-person episode watch had an announcement that they were going to have a pilot. So we will see.
Oh, yeah.
Something too from them
Something else
very soon. This week, actually. We didn't mention that, but yeah, DMD lineup on Thursday, I think. So
I
we're
know.
Find out
oh my gosh. I can't wait. It's gonna be so exciting. Okay. Kodiak Girl said the way they showed the part of Cloud making the wish before he died was such a great turn of the story. Yes, I agree, because the whole time you're like, how did this happen? You know, okay, well, you just assumed it's because of past lives, whatever. But then it showed that he made the wish. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so, I thought that was so cool. Excuse me. Very cool too. And another side note that I want to add about JJ in that scene is that JJ is afraid of water, guys. Like, JJ does not like water. He is not okay with it, but he pushed past his fear to film those scenes underwater. And if anyone has seen a behind the scenes of how they film those underwater scenes, they literally put black drapes around you inside a pool. So when you go underneath the water, you feel like you're in nothingness because you can't see anything around you. And it's actually like, personally, I feel like that would be terrifying.
Like, even though terrifying.
Even though you know you're in a pool, you can't see anything. It's all black. So put that on top of his already existing fear. I don't know how he got through those water scenes, because he had a good amount of them. He had ones with Net in the beginning. He had ones when he was supposed to be like wrapped up and thrown into the So I'm very, very proud of him that he got past that, because that's kind of crazy. So that's really cool. And Valerie says his character didn't feel safe in his body after time traveling, and the people he landed with were so over the top in his eyes. Very true. Yeah, that's another reason too, I think, why maybe the first episode was so crazy. And yeah, DeLorean, I think everyone's going to be in Restart. I agree. I think everyone is going to be in Restart. I'm really interested to see who else ends up being in Restart, because I'm sure that a lot of the side characters who were outside of Doom and D in the pilot may or may not be free at this point when they actually start filming. So it'll be interesting to see who stayed and who they had to find new cast members for. But anyways, besides that, Latte and Kim. So Latte's acting, I totally saw his improvement from episode 1 to the last episode. He got so much better in the ending. I was like so proud of him, because Latte is naturally not a super expressive person with his face, but you could see it in his eyes and his little micro expressions and his little smiles and things and the way he looked at Kim. And I was just like, also, I have to say, I was so proud of them for, I know it sounds silly, but I was so proud of them for like the pre-scene before the NC scene and even the NC scene, because I was not expecting that. I know that they're both old enough to have an NC scene, but I just like, it's their first series together. I just didn't expect them to go that far. And I was like, but I loved the emotion in the scene. And I was like, like you saw, like Latte had this beautiful, like soft look of love on his face, and I was just like, I've never seen him have that expression in real life. You know, at least I don't know. It's not like I watch Latte Kim exclusively, but he's just not very expressive that way. So I was really, really proud of him for that. And then with Kim, I was amazed that this is Kim's first series. I know that Kim is 30 years old, but like, and obviously he's bringing his life experience to the show.
Sure.
But I was like, wow, like his reactions, his inner monologues, the way he looked, and you know, just the way he embodied the character too. It was just really very real, at least to me. It felt very natural, very in the moment, and I just didn't see all the normal like hiccups or little isms that newer actors have with him. I was like, man, I would have assumed you've been in like 5 series before. So I was really impressed with them. I really hope they go far because I enjoy them and I'm rooting for them.
It's funny, Cognac Girl, that you mentioned the wish before he died as a great turn in the story, because I thought I kind of saw that whole bit, especially when the 20-year-old modern version of Paul like suddenly randomly gets all the memories rushed into his head.
Mhm.
I kind of saw it as like, man, we need a way to make this happen. Let's do it. Like I saw it as a convenient plot device.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know that like that I don't know. It didn't feel like a supernatural way for it to develop to me. Like
True.
we need to make this happen. This is convenient. Let's just use it kind of situation, because I feel like that mechanic really wasn't expressly developed up until that moment in the series necessarily. Like the
No, it's
wish,
true.
yeah, the wish was developed. And
Mm-hmm.
so it would make sense that he wished and became, and in the modern times he, you know, like was fated to meet this person again.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
part that wasn't like mentioned up until that moment, which made it kind of convenient, was that memory rush. Because it's not like Cal, modern day Cal, which was it Pun?
Nakun.
No, Gao? Pun?
Oh yeah, it was Pun.
Pun. It's not like Pun had a memory rush.
No, it's true, but Pun had a dream. Pun started having dreams though.
He did, but it wasn't like, I don't know. Like if they presented it that way, like odd dreams, it would have been plausible. But so that
Yeah.
was like one moment to me that was like, oh, this is convenient. But that is like out of like all of this like really beautiful plot development, having like one small thing, I feel like is barely worth mentioning, and I'm really nitpicking because that is it. That is the only moment that I'm like,
No, it's true. Actually, when you brought that up, I was thinking the one thing for me where I was like, I wish they had mentioned the significance of it or why it was significant was the age of 20, because um, it seemed like, uh, it was Nakun's birthday, which was when he time traveled. Like he had just turned 20 or whatever. And I was like, okay, great. And then it's like when Pope turns 20 in the present world, that's when all his memories rush in. And then
true.
Pun mentions, oh, on my birthday, after my birthday, it wasn't as expressly stated, but he was like, after my birthday, I started having these dreams where we are, you know, in this past life or whatever. So obviously they had assigned some significance to the age of 20. And I wish that they had mentioned somewhere like, there's a reason for that. Like, oh, the age of 20 is, you know, I don't know, means something. Or it's possible that maybe the age of 20 means something in Thailand and that we just don't know. That people in Thailand maybe assume already.
I was trying to remember, is in Camp Jera, was it 20 or 21?
In Camp-Jera, I think it was 20. I forget.
If it was 20 as well, then yeah, maybe it's a Thai significance to the
But
age.
I remember, if I remember right, I think they changed the age in Camp-Jera from the novel to make it make more sense or something like that. So I feel like I could be wrong. That might not be that story, but I remember there was a story where they changed the age, and so it might not be something of significance, but maybe it is something of significance. And so anyways, I wish that they had said something about that, or like you said, mentioned why Pope got all his memories back, but that you know, Bun only got like the dreams or whatever. But what I really enjoyed too, though, at least to me, this is like something sort of subtle, is some people were like, oh my gosh, the NC scene came out of nowhere. But for me, they gave us enough hints where it was like they were both having dreams. They both felt the presence of their past lives. They both felt that they loved each other, but they just hadn't like come together yet. So it was like, and then the way, okay, I have to say my favorite shot was the way they showed their reflection in the TV screen where they were wearing the old outfits again.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh my God, it's like all the yearning from the past life like erupted into this moment here in the present. And I felt like that was really beautiful. I was like, no, it makes perfect sense. But you kind of had to pick up on all the little small details for that. But when I saw the reflection, I was like, oh my God, stop. Like, I love that, like, call back to their past lives. And I was just, yeah, I thought it was really beautiful. And I felt like it was so, okay, again, kudos to their acting, but I loved the moments when Pope and Nakun didn't know, because you could see that entire scene where they're like walking in the old ruins or whatever.
Right.
They were both, neither of them knew if the other one had the memories. So they kept like testing each other, and they kept being like, okay, did you react to that? Oh, he didn't react to that. So maybe he doesn't. So I'm going to try this other sentence. Did he react to that? No, he didn't react. So it's like watching them do that, like all that subtext was like so good. I loved it so much.
Jess, long time. We haven't seen you in the chat. That's amazing. And welcome back.
Hello.
And thank you. If the age of adulthood in Thailand is considered 20, then that makes a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of sense. Yes. Oh, Cognac Girl likes the way that future Pope got his memories. It made me think that past Pope's wish made it to future Pope in the right time. Ooh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Fair enough.
Love that. It gave future Pope time to prepare everything for Cloud to go back in time. I did think that was so interesting that he got the memories and then he had to wait to meet Cloud because he was like, he hasn't gone back in time yet. I was like, whoa, this is really deep. I thought that was fun. Yeah,
and DeLorean, I also love that they spent more time in the modern days. You are correct. A lot of time travel transmigration stories end right after they're back.
That's so true. Yeah, that's a really good point.
That was very cool that was different in this series. Absolutely.
Yeah. Pope's parents mentioned that Cloud had not yet reached the okay. Thank you, DeLorean, for that reminder about Pope's parents mentioning about the age of majority. Makes total sense then. Thank you for answering my question. I love that. Yeah, no, it was really cool. And I loved how we saw little bits of the people in present day. Like Tonam's character was like the bellboy, and then, you know, like his wife's character was the waitress. And the only people I really wanted to see, and I understand why they didn't do it, because really their characters were sort of inconsequential at the end of the day. But I really wanted to see Tudor and Yim like happy somewhere, like dating. Because their characters were so sad.
That was very sad, but that was very minor. You are correct.
Exactly. It was very minor. I understand why they didn't do it, but I was like hoping we'd get a glimpse of them like over somewhere being like happy people.
I loved when Nakun recognized his mom.
Oh my God.
That was so cool.
Such a cool scene where like he was hugging the dad, and then the dad like oh my gosh, that was really, really awesome. And I actually love that they showed how some people could be reincarnated in a different gender or a different, you know, whatever. And because you know, everyone else was like reincarnated in their same exact self, basically. So it was cool that they showed that other side to it, to be like, oh, you could also be, you know. And then they even mentioned it too in the dialogue. They were like, oh, anybody else we didn't see has probably been reincarnated in a different gender or, you know, different place or something. And I was like, that's really cool that they said that. But yeah, I just think it was a really, really well-crafted story at the end of the day. And I loved the guy who played Shirt, the villain guy who ends up like getting high on opium and you know, killing Pim and Claw. Yeah. I was like, his acting was really good, especially when he was high and then he realized that he killed Pim and he's like,
Oh my
Pim, I'm
gosh.
sorry. I was like, oh
Right.
my God, like I don't feel bad for you, but I also sort of feel bad for you because you're like
Uh,
high and you don't know what you're doing and you're just like crazy and you're a person because of circumstance. You know what I mean?
all right. Absolutely, I do. But I think we have time for one final question for the
Oh,
audience, for
perfect.
us, for each other. What did we have? Do we have a question? I think there was one. Oh, we have two options. I'm gonna let you pick which one. I think I picked last week.
Oh, let's see. I feel like I like yours. So is there anyone, you know how Gao cursed Jom across lifetimes? He was like, in the next lifetime, I hope that I reject you forever, basically. Is there anyone that you have in your life? You don't have to get specific. You can say yes or no, but is there anyone that you would curse across lifetimes like Gao did? There is someone. There is someone in my life that I would curse. They are no longer in my life, and I would totally curse them. But I would curse them to. Oh man, I don't even know. I'm not sure what I would do, but I would say curse for them. But I think that there's only really one person. I feel like anybody else, they'll get their karma eventually. They don't have to be cursed by me.
Right? Is there someone that I would curse across lifetimes that I would never want to walk with? And so I would rather like either never meet or dislike immensely in every lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
One person keeps popping into my head that might want to curse like across lifetimes. But their karma might come to them.
Okay.
Kind of thing, right? Like, do I need to curse? Well, it's like, do you not want to ever bear witness to their energy ever again if you believe in multiple lifetimes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, maybe a couple. There might be a couple of people, mostly from like previous romantic relationships that I would rather not walk with again
Okay.
any lifetime.
Understandable. Valerie says no one that I would curse, but I do feel that I've cleaned up some karma from past lives. Oh, interesting. I love that. Yeah, sometimes we're like, right? It's like sometimes we're like, oh, why is this happening to me? And it's like, oh, maybe some karma from a past life. Interesting. Right. Chaz says, I can fortunately say I do not have anyone from my lifetime I would curse. That is amazing.
That's amazing.
You are either a really good person and or you have really good people around you. So that's great.
Amazing. Absolutely.
Yes. Earlier comments. Oh, DeLorean says, I was so shocked at the Tudor Yim cameo. Oh my God, me too. I'm glad I wasn't spoiled beforehand. I was really sad that I saw one picture of that beforehand and I was like, why was I spoiled? But the scene was just so beautiful. And yes, even the director mentioned that Tudor and Yim were such good actors and he was like, oh my gosh, they were great, like even just for this one scene. And I was like, oh, I want them to work with Cruden. I love him. So maybe that will happen in the lineup. We'll see. But Cognac Girl says, oh, that was so obvious after the fact. It took me off guard. You'll have to remind me what that is referring to because I'm sure I was talking about something.
Probably maybe the mom. We were talking about the mom.
Oh, the mom and the dad, maybe? The reincarnation. Yeah, that totally could have been it. But yes. Yeah, just some beautiful moments in this series. Some beautiful questions about like karma and past lives and what can and can't affect you and right and wrong and gray areas and like acceptance and non-acceptance and the marriage scene. I was like, oh my gosh, the marriage.
That was cute too.
It was just really, yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, even if it maybe wasn't perfect, especially how it started out. I think it ended really beautifully, and I think it was still a great launch point for NetJJ, Latte Kim, and hopefully we will see them grow even more from here.
So, is it going to end up in your top 10, do you think?
This one, probably not. Still beautiful, but not quite in my top 10. Just because most of my top 10, I feel like they're almost perfect the whole way through, you know, or like very close to being perfect the whole way through.
Fair
And
enough.
this one had some fall offs occasionally, but it's still very, very good. It's still going to get 2 hearts from me. And I think that you could still tell that they put a lot of heart into it, the team that worked on it. So I don't think any of the bad points came from people not trying. I think it just came from, you know, skill, timing, who knows what else, but I think that everyone really tried their best. So,
for those who love JJ, leave a comment under one of his posts saying you love him, because from what I understand, up through episode 4, he thought he was done.
Yes,
that JJ, was the end, and it was the saddest thing when I heard that.
I know, but what's so interesting is that it sort of aligns with what I was saying, how episodes like 1 through 3 sort of didn't land for people. And then after episode 4, it really went up. And I think he saw a lot of that feedback. And this was his test series for the end of his career. He was like, I've been in this industry for 8 years or 6 years, I believe. And he's like, this is my last shot. If it doesn't work, I'm going to quit. And I think that he probably saw the feedback from the beginning episodes and was like, okay, I'm done. But Net really believes in him. And I think that he's found a companion in Net, at least in, you know, whether or not personally, but at least in the working environment. Also, they feel really comfortable together. And so I think Net was like, no, you can do it, you can stay. And then the feedback kept getting better and better and better and better. And they sold out their last episode viewing in that huge hall that Do Indie always rents out, which is really exciting. And so I think that JJ will be here to stay, at least for this foreseeable future, which is amazing. But yes, please share your love with him. Share your amazing comments and feelings with him, because he is great and he should know that.
And read his novel. Yes, which all the fans have so lovingly translated into so many languages. It's kind of fantastic.
I need to read it. I've heard it's very toxic, though. Have you been reading it?
I've only read like a little bit of chapter 1, but I have to say, like, just the little bit of descriptive writing I read, I was like, well, dang, okay, sir. I see you. Okay. You know, I'm like, some fun. And to answer your question, Valerie, I believe he posts on Instagram. He has an Instagram. He also has an X account. So whatever your T is for social media. I think we're all fully smitten with him.
Yay! Some fun tea from JJ too is that I think it was last year or the year before, JJ like randomly went to Off, the CEO of Do Indie, and was like, hey, I have a series, like I wrote a series for you, can you read it? And Off was like, oh, okay, sure, ha ha ha. And then like a day later, JJ sent him an entire file with a huge series that was all done with the synopsis and the plot and the chapters and everything. And Off was like, oh, you were serious. Okay, cool.
Hey, maybe we'll get to see that one, because Off did say in a recent live that half of the stories that have been like rumored to be picked up, the novels, have not, and they are doing original work this time.
Yeah, so he was. Yeah, that is something that he said.
Crazy.
Because, oh my gosh, that would be really fun if JJ wrote a series, or even if he helped write a series that ends up becoming produced. That would be so cool, because I know that Off really enjoys making the dreams of these boys come true. So if he thinks that JJ's writing is good enough, and or if he really can find a way for JJ to be involved in the writing and can make it happen, I'm sure that he will. So honestly, that would be really fun. I think that would be great. But yeah, I can't wait to see what this lineup entails. And just disclaimer for anyone who is going to watch it, it does not mean that all of the series that they put out are going to happen this year or next year.
So true.
He was saying, Off said the disclaimer, he was like, these are just upcoming projects. They could be now, they could be next year, they could be years after that, depending on production time. But he just wants everyone to know that these projects are in the works, and that everyone's favorite actors have something to look forward to in the future. So that is the plan for the lineup.
Well, there you go. And on that note, I think we should probably sign off for the evening. This is one of our longer episodes, but hey, we had a lot to say about this show. So
we did, yes.
On that note, join us live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST. Don't forget to like this video. Hey, if you like our stuff, post about us on social media and tag us. We'd love that.
Yeah.
Subscribe if you haven't already. We are also reacting to Ticket to Heaven right now.
Yes, EP2
Um,
should be up shortly, but we have EP1 up, which is super fun. So please watch that and enjoy with us. That show is wild, and can't wait to watch EP3.
that's next for us. So on that note, because I'm so excited, we need to go watch another show. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, friends. Thank you for joining.